Fabulous. So thanks everyone. Really glad to be here. Jay, as always, great to hear your talk. So we've actually just a couple of minutes of our story. We're coming off a successful exit in electrophysiology where we actually took a catheter inside the heart to understand how it works. And this is the first time we had physicists, cardiologists, AI experts, and signal processing folks come together to redefine where cardiology is going. So we've cracked a couple of very, very seminal problems, and we believe this will redefine predictive cardiology worldwide. We've started with predicting heart failure. We can actually see it coming months before people go into symptomatic heart failure. So the everyone's familiar with the heart. The heart throws, the electrical signal is captured pretty ubiquitously. But the mechanical signature is something that even cardiologists cannot detect from the ECG report. And this is where we've cracked it. Since 1924, since the ECG was invented, we are one of the first companies to crack the mechanical signature of the heart. We can compute the left ventricular ejection fraction accurately from the ECG and many other mechanical markers that have given us insight into prognosis, not just of cardiac conditions, but of other conditions in the body as well. So, next slide. Yeah, so the problem with most cardiac conditions and heart failure is no different, is they're silent killers. We're now seeing more and more folks in the 20s and 30s going into sudden cardiac arrest. We're seeing people at later ages going to the emergency, and Dr. Uli himself ran Kaiser's emergency for many years. And they'll all attest to the fact that 80% of chronic cardiac conditions are detected in the ER. And the problem is that it's not that diagnostic tools are not accessible. It's just that it's very hard to get diagnostics. So by the time somebody goes for an echocardiography, it takes a lot of pre-diagnosis already. The second thing is most diagnostics, most AI-based diagnostics today need almost perfect data. And most of the time, patients are not at a point where they can have almost perfect data. And so the solution to that is a triage-based approach, which is more ubiquitously available. People are having wearable devices and many other options as well. And and the solution is being able to offer a triage wherever people are, lower the costs, and prevent deaths. So, heart failure is our first example. We're able to predict it within 3 minutes. We don't need any PII, gender, age group, body mass index. We're able to do it right from the EKG itself. And we published this as a poster at European Society of Cardiology. They've termed it impending heart failure or Ray's disease after my co-founder, who I'm going to tell you about in a moment. So Dr. Abhijit Ray is the co-founder and the inventor of many of our cardiac solutions. He's a fellow of Johns Hopkins and Harvard, and got his degree from King's College in London. And he works with Dr. John Hampton directly and did several years of research in the cardiac side to identify prognostics. Dr. Amar Ray led our company to a previous success in the electrophysiology space and spent a year in the FDA. I'm the CTO. My background, I built Amazon's first AI-powered search and was also part of Yahoo. So very comfortable with AI itself. And we've got very strong folks in the marketing side. HAIF has made the press in many different places for its solution. The way we work is really simple. I'm calling it the HFP algorithm, but it works for all of our products. The ECG or the EKG is ubiquitous. It's a window into a person, and it's a very complex window into a person. In fact, even if a person has kidney disease, there is a signal that the heart picks up mechanically, and we're able to see traces of that. So our solution is upload any EKG, we analyze the waveform, we calculate, we run our AI and our physics algorithms on it, and we give a very simple triage result back to the doctor to stratify risk and we make it affordable and available in almost any part of the workflow. The interesting thing about HAIF is anybody can operate it. You don't necessarily need a sophisticated radiologist, but we're not actually displacing the radiologist. We're just getting another 5 people to the radiologist in time. And and we're doing that because people have wearable devices. People may go to a clinic and just get an EKG done for something else, and we can just run on this ubiquitously available diagnostic tool. Sorry about the font on this one, but the heart failure predictor is the first of our products. We're also able to figure out overall cardiac wellness, where we're able to track a variety of other conditions. We're also able to estimate coronary artery disease, both the degree of occlusion and the location. We also have a stress marker that we've just developed that measures residual stress, which is the precursor to a lot of cardiac conditions. So before something reaches heart failure, there's enormous residual stress that's carried in the body, and we're able to measure this as well. A little bit about the market. If you just take heart failure alone in the US, it's $150 billion, $358 billion worldwide. And all of us know about the repeat hospitalization visits for heart failure, 2 in 30 days, and the hospital gets dinged. And we can actually see that coming. So we have talked to several hospitals, and we're looking to offer our solutions there. Um, we're not yet FDA approved. We're actually in the process of raising a seed round, and the seed round has already reached first close. So as soon as the close happens, we will be filing for FDA and the European CE. Um, since we are a triage product, the triage side does not need FDA approval. We will go into the wellness side and be available there as well. And we've also already launched in a few other countries which do not require FDA approval currently. We incorporated in 2024. We are going through compliance in 2025, and we expect to see a fairly rapid expansion over the next couple of years. We want to reach 5.3 billion adults worldwide, wherever they are, so that they have the ability to do relatively low cost triage risk stratification, but HAIF starts low, but it also has offerings that can go much higher and provide a comprehensive view all the way up to a potentially people that are interested in longevity can also take a cardiac pack. We've also got, in addition to the heart failure predictor, which reaches about 64 million people, our second marker is already published. It reaches about 250 million people that already have the first cardiac event. And we also have markers that can detect hypoglycemia and several other conditions that will be available as our triage product. We've completed regulatory compliance in almost every other area. We're already ISO 13485 compliant, getting ready to go for the FDA certification. Twice in a row, we were among the top startups at InnovatorMD, and we're very, very honored and proud to report that. We have a fully awarded patent for extracting the mechanical signature of the ECG or the EKG, and we are at first close of our seed round, and we're set up as a healthcare company. So the teams. The team's pretty strong both in compliance and in AI, and it's setting up sales support as well. We do have competition and big competition. Some of them have raised hundreds of millions of dollars, but many of them are not predictive. Many of them are completely diagnostic, which means all the planets have to align for diagnosis. So they need all the data. It's got to be in, the entire ECG has to be available for them in a doctor's office, and many of them don't have as wide and as tolerant an approach that we do. So we expect to get scale much faster, and we expect to get a reach in many geographies a lot more quickly. We've also run a lot of health fairs in various countries, and I'm going to jump past the slide. And we've validated against the Framingham cohort. We have a 98 to 99% accuracy there. We're raising our seed round already at first close, and it's going reasonably well. So we're seeing the whole world through the EKG, and that's our mission. We can definitely use other data as well, but the EKG is fairly ubiquitous and fairly comprehensive. And it's come after about more than 10 years of research from a very, very passionate team. Thank you very much. Happy to answer questions.
You want us to just jump in, Ely? You're on mute.
Let's bring the judges on and have the judges ask questions or comments or whatever.
I'll go first. Great to see you again. One comment and one question. The comment is, I listened very intently, and I think a lot of VCs have trained themselves to do this. So the comment or the suggestion is, be as forthcoming as you can about how you have acquired data to build your algorithm. What we want is that you had some unique access to unique data, and therefore, if this is a really good idea, 100 other labs couldn't reproduce your technology because it was fundamentally built on a unique data set that you had unique access to. My question is this, and you hit it on slide 14 at the end, but I would love to know more about whether or not with your technology, the world does a more efficient job. That's clear. But are there things that you will outright catch that an ECG or EKG with a radiologist in the regular world would miss? Because that's where the win is. And so that's the question. And if the answer is yes, what are those examples?
Yeah, thanks, Jay. I think let me actually address all the questions there. I'll start with the last first. So today, almost no cardiologist or radiologist from the EKG can determine a condition like heart failure. It's very difficult. They may discover like a left bundle branch block, but determining congestive heart failure, because it's a mechanical side, the electrical side may work really smoothly. You can't see the mechanical side. So 80% of heart failure is found in the ER. So that's one thing right off the bat, and the entire family of issues like coronary artery disease, it even evades the treadmill tests, and it evades the calcium CT score, but we're able to get that right from the EKG because of the work we've done inside the heart as well. So access to data sets. So I'm an AI guy. I was being an AI guy from 1998. And what we did is we took our knowledge of AI and reverse engineered it back to physics, because the laws of physics are immutable. Whether it's a small ball or a big ball, it's going to travel with S equals UT plus half VT squared. And we took that and we realized the heart is a four-chamber, it's like four-stroke engine. So we took all the AI, we applied it back into physics, and we characterized the heart with that. So if we prove it for one heart, it's going to work for many of them. And we validated that in our clinical trials and the Framingham cohort. And it's almost 10 years of physics, AI, signal processing meeting each other, 3 years of clinical trials. So we're at least 3 years ahead of somebody else that wants to come down this path.
Well, that's good. And that's goosebumpy kind of stuff. And that's more exciting than some of the other 10 minutes, just as feedback. That's what you want to get into, because that's what's going to excite the investor. Anyway, let me stop there because I know there's other
Thank you.
No, great points, Jay, and Bharat. Thank you for your presentation, and great to see all your progress there. I had a couple questions. One, since you are in multiple countries and where it is, what is your current revenue as far as kind of in traction, as far as number of customers and patients?
Yeah, we're pre-revenue right now. So we're not calling ourselves a revenue in company. We do have incoming revenues, but we didn't go out and sell those. It's people actually came and bought it from us. Our actual outbound sales is going to start after we close our seed round, because we do have to have a sales support team there, because out of every 100 EKGs, 5 of them will require a separate path for oversight. So we are putting all those in place. But having said that, we did have a few hospitals reach out to us. We did have a few screening companies reach out to us, and we didn't say no to that revenue. But I didn't want to put that under our sales strategy.
Okay. So from a, um, you know, LOI standpoint, letters of intent, and being in multiple countries, do you have any of that kind of commitment or projection on your revenue for incoming?
Yeah, so we're looking at about our first year. We're looking at about $3 to $4 million in revenue. A lot of folks have told us that's pretty high, for a 1 year company. But all we've done in the last 13 or 14 months is talk to customers, and the only question we've asked them is, if we have this, will you sign? And what will be the price point at which you'll buy our product? What will be the price point at which you'll resell our product? So we've kind of that's really the key work that we've done, and we've understood who's going to be our first set of customers, and we're going after intermediaries. So we're not trying to go after the last mile ourselves. There's many intermediaries, like companies that do, for example, screening in the US that's off insurance. They're willing to sell our products at $50 per test and share about a third of it with us. So we potentially get to almost 500,000 users right off the bat with a single agreement. So we've been talking to companies that will give us a large number of users at one shot, but we didn't want to rush into it without having the right sales support, because in healthcare you just get only one chance to do it right, and so we've been going down that path.